Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Mildred to talk about reference recordings for the Ravel piano concertos, right? Yes, I know you'd rather play, so I'm going to let you down and let you go play. Here we go. Good girl. So now we throw the object. Ready? Go! That is a happy cat. So, yes, the Ravel piano concertos. That's what we're talking about. Why? Because, well, I just did a review, a video of the absolutely horrific Alexandre Tarot Ravel piano concertos, which just sucked beyond belief. And so I thought, as long as we're talking about the Ravel piano concertos, we might as well do the reference recordings for them. Now, you know, if this is the year 3786, you may not see those two videos in tandem. So just so you know that back in the day, millions of years ago, in a galaxy far, far away and whatever, we did them together. So what are the reference recordings for the Ravel piano concertos? Well, it depends. There are sort of two in general. It's very interesting, actually, because historically, you know, they're not long. They're not long works. They're 20 some odd minutes, and then the left-hand concerto is even less. It's about 18 minutes, and so they work well on a single disc. And when CDs came, you had to find something else to throw on the disc as well, usually. But if you want to get the pair of them, for the pair of them, traditionally, historically, and oh, good Lord. All right, wait a minute. Excuse me. Cat. Ready? Go! She loves to play fetch. So historically, in stereo, the reference recordings were this guy, Samson, François, with André, Cluytens, and the Paris Conservatory Orchestra. Oh, is this the ultimate, like, French Ravel piano concerto experience? They're fabulous performances. Fabulous. And what makes them so wonderful is their total naturalness and style and point, and all of the things that you want in French music. They're not too sentimental, especially in the G major. Remember, we talked about that in the previous video, how in that long passage between the very opening and the technical second subject, which is do 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 do, that thing. But that whole big passage in the middle, they keep it in tempo. The whole thing has shape and style and elegance, and it's the Paris Conservatory Orchestra sounds marvelous. Oh, it's just sensational. And then the left-hand concerto is every bit as good. Now, the left-hand concerto, is a very, very different work, as Ravel himself said. Of course, it has a little bit more jazz in it, and some evil mechanical stuff going. Emotionally, it's in a completely different world. It's a much darker piece of music. Oh my gosh, you can drive me crazy, aren't you? Where did you put your... Oh, you're still chewing on it. Let go. Come here. Come here. Sorry, friends. Here you go. Go! There. All right, so the left-hand concerto, yes, a much darker piece, and so they have to be well differentiated, and they're wonderfully differentiated within the same basic stylistic parameters. They're absolutely gorgeous performances, and this particular box that I'm holding up here is Debussy and Ravel Piano Works with François. This is an early François reissue. I mean, they've issued these concertos separately. There's a great performances, great recordings of whatever it is, series version of it. And then there are all these Samson François boxes, of which there were like 3 or 4 after this. Really amazing how many there were. And you can get the Ravel concertos that way too. There's lots of ways to get them, and you should definitely hear them. However, here's the thing. Here's the kicker. The G major concerto has another reference recording. The left-hand concerto does not, because the G major concerto gets performed more frequently for obvious reasons. It's written for 2 hands, So lots of people have made wonderful recordings of both of them, actually. I mean, there's Alicia de la Rocha on Decca, there's Zoltan Kocis on Philips, but for the G major, that's for both of them. But for the G major, you've got, Martha Argerich and Abbado. But the reference recording for zillions of years and still was Arturo Benedetti Michelangeli also on EMI, on Warner, with Alceo Galliera, I think is the conductor. I have that one sitting over there somewhere in one of these piles, but I don't need to fish it out. It's Michelangeli. That was the one. Michelangeli is perfect as a Ravel pianist because he was an artist who considered technical perfection the acme of everything that he did. And Ravel, of course, was the Swiss precision watchmaker composer. Who also wanted something similar. And it is fascinating to compare Michelangeli in the G major to someone like Alexandre Tarot, who just sort of pokes and diddles the music without ever actually playing it, whereas Michelangeli is just absolutely beautifully poised, cool, Olympian detachment, but yet there is that feeling of sentiment, the slow movement, for example, that just crystalline clarity and total and complete simplicity, surrender to the music without feeling you need to do things to it. Gosh, what a difference. It's astonishing what the difference is. It really is. And so those are the two reference recordings. You either get Samson François for both of them, or you should have them all, of course, or Michelangeli for the G major. And then, of course, there are wonderful performances that came later that it didn't amass the same consensus, such as Argerich and other people have talked about. But that's your deal. Get Samson François for both, then get Michelangeli for the G major, and then go nuts. But at all costs, avoid the new Tarot recording again, which is just yeah. So there you go, my friends. Simple chat, because the choices are really, really obvious. They are the consensus picks. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.